Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for the Monday Q&A. So let's get to it. First question. Is there a point in a refeed while bulking? I actually get asked this question quite a bit, and I think it's kind of a funny question because people don't really think this through. Depending on how you want to perceive it, the answer is both yes and no. And what I mean there is, yes, you need a refeed 7 days a week on a bulk, or the answer is no, because it's not really a refeed. Generally, a refeed is eating at your maintenance or a very small surplus in the middle of a cut, so that you can replenish muscle glycogen, you can get your performance back up, help hold on to lean body mass better. It's generally a high carb, slight surplus, unless you're doing an ultra high refeed, which only certain types of diets call for that. But when you bulk, you're eating a very small surplus, usually a very high carb diet. So in effect, you refeed every single day on a bulk. Now, I think what some people really mean by this is, should they have days where they eat a dramatically higher amount? And the answer is no, that would be silly. You're just going to get fat. All right, next question. For an intermediate on a 2-year lean gain, is a rate of 2 pounds a month for sufficient for muscle gain? That's kind of tough to answer because it depends on goals, but 2 pounds a month for an intermediate isn't really going to be an ultra lean bulk. It's still going to be a lean bulk, but you need to remember, as an intermediate, you're not going to gain any more than half a pound of muscle per month. So you figure another half pound of that is water and about 1 pound of fat. So a 2 to 1 fat to muscle ratio, that's actually pretty good. And while that wouldn't be necessarily an ultra lean bulk, because you're still going to put on about 12 pounds of fat per year, maybe a hair more. But the reality is, if you're not gaining at that rate, you're probably not going to gain nearly as much muscle either. So it gets tricky, but I think it's acceptable. All right, next question. Does it matter if someone goes over their macros if what they go over by is all fiber? Yes, because it still has calories. And this is one of the things that really bothers me when people talk about macros and really, really tight macros, is because they don't factor in other things that have calories in them, like the fiber. And this is one of the reasons I tell people, don't track all 3 of your micronutrients, because it'll make you start worrying about things like fiber. What you need to track generally is protein, fat, and calories. And just fill everything else however you want, with a focus on carbs. That's why I tell people, hit your protein minimums, your fat minimums, and then fill the rest randomly with mostly carbs. And this is one of the reasons why. Because if you are trying to hit some sort of weird target macros that you have set out and a specific calorie number, your calories are never going to match at the end what you've calculated based on the macros, because those macros are just loose estimates. Carbs don't have exactly 4 grams of calories to the dot. That's just rounded to 4. Same with protein. And then the fact that fiber also has calories in it that you will absorb to varying degrees means it never is going to equal out. So it's best to just track calories and pick 2 macros to track as far as plugging them in for minimums, and just try to keep fiber and other things in the ranges that you want. It's just a lot less hassle. And this is one of the reasons why. All right, guys, so that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys in part 2.